Welcome to this video which shows you how to administer your Meetup account. So congratulations, your club has a Meetup account and it's all been set up and it's running and you've got a changeover of club offices coming up. So how do you update the details? So we once again start at www.meetup.com. And we want to log in because this is an existing account we're administering, and we need to enter the email address that the account is associated with and the password. Then we click the red button that says log in. And this one you can see I'm administering is MacArthur Toastmasters Club. Now because I have created an event acting as this club, the first thing that appears on the top of the screen is my next meetup. So I've automatically got a prompt, so I could go and have a look at that if I want to. I'm not going to. I'm going to administer the account. Up on the top right of the screen, there hopefully at this point is a Toastmasters logo, which we covered how to do that in an earlier video, and a little drop down. If I click on either the logo or the little drop down arrow, it will come up with a list of options. On the left, there are links to the meetups that this account is a member of, and on the right we have options of profile and settings. So let's go have a look at those because that's what's important to us right now. Profile gives us the profile of the club and tells us which meetups we're a member of. So you can always change these, you can leave meetups, join other meetups, and that way you can keep in touch. But for now, let's say we wanted to add a bio. We've got MacArthur Toastmasters Club. We can connect it to our social media networks if we have them. And then below location, there's a link that says add a bio. So click on that and now we've got an option to add a bio, and we've got 250 characters with which to add this. So let me just copy and paste the text that I've got. And of course, you can change this at any time. So copy, paste. And I'm just going to tidy it up. So this is just like editing in a Word document or an email. But because I copied and pasted it, it's appeared a little bit oddly. So I'm just making sure it's all correct. So here we go. I've got the bio, the meetup. I'm not going to go through and check every single layer of this because, as you can see, if at any point you want to edit this, once you've submitted, that's very easy to do. All right, I'm 450 characters over. It has to be nice and short. Okay, it told me that we were 442 characters over. Okay. I don't need to tell people we meet at 7:30 and 9:30. Can make that shorter. I don't need information about that because all of the information about the club, etc., is in the actual meetup events. So this vibrant club meets fortnightly on the 1st and 3rd Tuesday of each month. And then I'm going to delete this at West Leeds Club. And I'm not going to say it's a private room because we've got that in the meetup. Our members are varied in age and occupation. All are friendly and eager to make visitors welcome. Okay, now I am under the 250 characters limit. So let's select submit. So you can see it's not very much, but there's a bio. And that tells us a little bit about this particular club. Now, before in an earlier video, I did show you how to upload your photo in case you missed it. The way that you do it is you select change your photo, or you can select photos. So any photo that you've uploaded, you can set as your main photo. And you can say I've uploaded 2, you can delete photos, and you can change it by uploading a new photo. Okay, so that's the way that you do that. And I did cover in detail in an earlier video how to access Toastmasters International and download one of the Toastmasters logos to be able to upload it into this account for your club. So that's our profile. And you can see that's basic information, but where are the rest of the settings? Remember, on the top right-hand corner, you've got the logo and the little arrow that clicks down. You've got profile and settings. So this time I want you to click on settings now that you've added a bio. And what you can see is the bio, the interests that you selected when you started the account. So this is where you would add interests. There are categories and suggested interests. You can search for interests. So you can see there's always going to be some that we're going to miss here. There's one that says presentations. Well, we want to add that one. And we're going to be notified about meetups within 5 miles that match our interests. Again, it thinks we're a person, so you will get emails, etc. You can connect with Facebook if you have a Facebook account for your club. I wouldn't connect it to an individual account. And you can delete your Meetup account if you find that it's not worth it. On the top of the page, we've got all of the basic information: user ID, name, email address, the password to log in and administer the account, where it's located. Our hometown isn't entered, so let's edit that now. We're in Sydney. I don't know if Lumia's in here. No, so let's try Campbelltown. There we go, hometown, Campbelltown. Oh, whoops, I want this to be Sydney. Whoops. The hometown I want to be Lumia. There we go, got there in the end. So it's city and then hometown. So our location is still listed as Sydney, but our hometown is Lumia. Our language is English, United States. I don't know if there is an option. No, it's just English. Birthday, January 1988. Oh, it would have done that based on the age that I entered. Gender, we're not going to set a gender because obviously it's a club. Clubs aren't particular genders. Now, you can see just in there what I was doing is I was clicking on the blue edit buttons every time I wanted to change any of these settings. So let's say we want to change the email address. It's under a personal email account and we want to put it to President MacArthur Toastmasters. You would edit it. Now that you're logged in, it tells you your current email address, and you would enter your new email address and click on save. Okay? You'll need your password, your account password, to do that. So those are the general settings. I'm just going to go back to the general settings. On the left, you can see there are a whole bunch of options. There's email updates. Okay, so email updates are currently on, and here's what you get emails about. So this is where you would go in and adjust these settings. So if you want email reminders with iCal attachments, if you know what that is, you'll leave it ticked. If you don't know what it is, probably best to untick it. I'm not going to go into detail about iCal here. Messages. Because you are now an event organizer at this point, people can send you messages. Do you want to receive emails every time someone sends you a message so that you can respond promptly? I would suggest you do, but you don't have to. You can untick that box. You can turn off all emails if you want to. It's completely your choice. Again, replies to comments, weekly calendar. Each one of these describes a type of update about you and about your group. And you can edit the group settings that you receive for Join Toastmasters Sydney, for example, by clicking on Edit. And you can see here are a whole bunch of settings. So If all of these are ticked, you're going to get a fair amount of emails from Meetup, which might be all right at first, but if you're like me and you like a limited number of emails, you're going to want to be fairly selective about turning a lot of these off, especially ones about new meetup groups that match your interests and things like that, because you're doing this on behalf of your club to promote your club. So you're probably not that interested in meetups that match your interests. But that's where you change those settings. If you're getting too many emails, you want to go into settings, email updates. Same thing with mobile notifications. If you want mobile notifications, you're going to need to download the Meetup app, and here are the links to do it. And then you would link that app with the instructions that are in there to this account, and that way you could get mobile notifications. Privacy. This shows you who can contact you. So any member of any meetup, only other organizers, members of your meetups, anything you like. I'm probably going to suggest that you leave that at any member of Meetup because you're using this as a promotional tool for your club. But again, here's where the options are. Social media, these need to be linked to club accounts. So if you don't have a club account for Facebook, I'm not talking about a Facebook page or group, an actual personal account, which I don't suggest you set up, frankly. But if you do, you can link it. Same with Twitter, LinkedIn, Flickr, and Tumblr. You can link any of those accounts. For most clubs, this is not going to be something that's applicable to you because you can push updates through the Join Toastmasters district social media accounts now. And you can see how to do that and get ideas and everything on that in the social media training program emails. When we click on Organize a Subscription, now it's going to say we don't currently have a subscription. Don't change that because you've set up an account, become an event organizer in an existing subscription so that you don't have to pay. If you go to start a meetup here, you are going to have to pay to schedule meetups. And at the moment, you're able to do that in the accounts that we've got. So that's the Join Toastmasters group, etc. So payment methods are related to the organizer subscription. Payments made are related to, obviously, the organizer subscription as well. And also any contributions or anything you've received from people, which we're not really set up to do. So you shouldn't really ever see anything in here, but I'm just giving you a little exploration of everything in here. Now, if you don't know what API means, don't worry about this, okay? However, if you do, you can see that where it says app, you can actually set up an API for Meetup to link it to your website. You're almost certainly not going to be able to do that on a free Toast host site, although I haven't explored it. But if your club runs a site on WordPress or something similar, then you can set up an API. And if you know what that is, here's the option to do it. Again, if you don't know what this is, don't worry about it. It's not that important. So those are all of the different settings. And as you can see, you have an awful lot of control over your account. I'm just going to show you two more things before we leave this video. One is the notifications. So every time a new meetup is scheduled in your group at the moment, because of your email update settings on this account, you can see that a meetup has been announced. Any other email updates that you've said, you'll also get notifications up here. When you do have a notification, this will be red and it will say things like 1 or 2 or 4, and that tells you how many notifications that you've got. To see them, all you do is you just click on that notifications and they appear as a drop-down. Next to that on the left are messages. And this is the last thing that you need to be aware of in administering your account. If someone sends you a message and you don't have it in your emails, if you've changed your email settings, then this is where you will see it. Again, if people have sent you messages, there will be numbers next to this that tell you how many messages you've got. Because it is a social media platform, people tend to expect a response within 24 to 48 hours. So try and be regular in responding to any messages that you get. This is the private messaging function of Meetup. So this allows you to have a conversation, and it says here they're private places where you can talk to one person or a group of people. So you can start a conversation if you want to approach somebody on Meetup. And you do that by just clicking on the flashing speech bubble with the plus sign, and you say to, and you'd put in who you want to, and maybe you want to contact the organizers of the Join Toastmasters Meetup account. So you'd select that and you'd send your message, and then you'd hit send. And then we would get a message in there, but you'd also see the conversation listed here. You'd also see the inbox of any conversations that visitors have contacted you and asked you to respond to. That's the entire dashboard that you have to play with in your Meetup account that you have created for your club. I hope that that is all clear. And if you have any further questions, please get in touch with us in the regular places that we have said in the written instructions attached to these videos. Thank you for your time, and enjoy meeting up and getting lots of visitors to your clubs. Bye.